EIDL videos is about attorneys. Okay, and action. Did your small business receive a COVID EIDL during the pandemic? If so, today's video is for you. Specifically, I'm going to discuss attorneys and the COVID EIDL. Hi, I'm Trevor, the EIDL expert, along with my partner Linda Ray, who's right next door to me here behind that fireplace in the room, editing video for you folks to watch here on our channel. Together, we've been helping small business owners just like you who have COVID EIDLs. We've been helping with advice after the pandemic, and we helped folks to get loans during the pandemic with our free videos, and clients who hired us for consulting assistance with applying for either original loans or reconsideration of declined loans. A lot of experience I have to share with you in everything I do on this channel and on our 1-hour consulting calls. Taking my experience as a 30-year veteran of the mortgage industry, where I specialized only in government loans as a direct lender, and for the last 5 years with the SBA COVID EIDL program. Today's video is about attorneys. We get lots of folks either on the 1-hour consulting calls or sending us emails or here in the comments on YouTube asking us if we can refer an attorney, especially when they've watched many of our previous videos about compliance and about filing bankruptcy. I'm not an attorney and I cannot give you legal advice about any of the issues related to your COVID EIDL, whether it is some normal transaction such as selling your business, bringing in a partner or an investor, an equity investor, borrowing money from an SBA approved lender or a regular commercial lender, filing bankruptcy, selling assets. I can only give you advice as an expert in the program and what the program requires. When it comes to the law, you need to consult with an attorney. And I'm going to say this to you with all clarity, truthfulness, and bluntness as a veteran of the real estate industry in the New York area for 30 years. In New York, when you purchased a house or sold a house, there were 4 attorneys represented at the closing table. At the head of the table was the attorney for the bank, our attorney. On the buyer's side, there was an attorney for the buyer. On the seller's side, there was an attorney for the seller. At the other end of the table was the title company, represented usually by a representative who was a notary public or paralegal, and sometimes an attorney. But the title company was usually owned by an attorney. So I have a lot of experience with attorneys. And in the real estate industry, my specialty was working with first-time buyers. And so many times I saw people select the wrong attorney to advise them on either selling a house or buying a house. And that bad advice led to all kinds of problems more often than not. And I cannot stress this fact to you enough, folks, this experience that I have with attorneys. You should find the right attorney to give you advice about your small business and the obligations, the restrictions, requirements, responsibilities of the COVID EIDL, whether it's a regular transaction or a bankruptcy. Find the right attorney. Please don't play the LCD game, lowest common denominator, which is usually generated out of price consideration, okay? And secondly, is generated out of a failure to just put in the work, the time and the effort to spend the appropriate time to find the right attorney and to interview an attorney the way you would an employee for your company, the way you should hire a CPA or an accountant for your firm also, by interviewing them, not just taking the first person that comes along, or as we used to do in the old days, taking our finger and open up the phone book and going boom. That is the wrong way to find an attorney. I cannot stress this enough, because already we have seen here on this channel and in our consulting practice multiple instances where somebody had the wrong attorney for a bankruptcy or other issue and got bad advice. A few months back, a woman commented on one of our live question and answer broadcasts about selling the business, selling assets, and they had an attorney represent them, and she indicated in the live Q&A chat that they did not request permission from the SBA to sell those assets. That is a major no-no. In fact, that could be considered what the SBA calls a fraudulent conveyance. That is a crime, and the SBA can prosecute someone for having done such a thing. But these people were represented by an attorney. You think that attorney is going to be around if the SBA decides to come after them? You know, they do have E&O insurance, errors and omissions, and they do have malpractice insurance, so, you know. somebody's going to walk away scot-free, and I'm pretty sure it's not the small business owner. Just today, as I'm recording this video, we received an email from someone who indicated they have just received a letter from the Justice Department coming after them to enforce the personal guarantee on a COVID EIDL. I predicted this could happen, and people didn't listen to me. You didn't buy our guidebooks. You didn't buy our resource hub. You didn't book 1 hour calls. You just went ahead willy-nilly. You listened to the morons on Reddit who said just ignore it. And now these folks have received a letter from the Department of Justice, the United States Department of Justice, demanding enforcement of the personal guarantee. In the email, this business owner went on to say that they had already filed a business bankruptcy for their failed business, and the COVID loan had been discharged in the bankruptcy. Why didn't their attorney tell them they also needed to do a personal bankruptcy? You know why? Because the attorney was probably not familiar with the COVID EIDL program and the unique features, the unique aspects of that program. I'm begging you, find the right attorney. No, we don't have attorneys that we can refer to you, because typically when I worked with attorneys in the mortgage business, I worked with attorneys that I was familiar with them. I may have met an attorney at a closing and seen how well they handled the transaction. I may have met an attorney through networking, and before I gave them a chance at a referral, I would have certain tests I would put people through. People had to meet very high standards in order to receive referrals from me, and same with Linda Ray. We had a very high bar for someone to meet in order for us to refer them to our clients. You folks in our audience, many of you are not our clients. Many of you are not even subscribed to our videos, which, by the way, is my moment to do call to action. If you are not subscribed, hit that subscription button now and hit the bell for notifications so you can stay up to date with the only source for clarity about the COVID EIDL on the internet or in the United States. I'm not saying that. People are telling us that. The reporter from NBC Universal interviewed me last year, told me that. A recent reporter from another publication, the Bay Area of San Francisco area, told me. Nobody else is doing this. You folks tell us in the comments. You folks tell me on the 1 hour consulting calls. Please listen to me. Find the right attorney. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the thumbs up. We did a video previously this year called Bad Advice from Attorneys. I encourage you to watch that because I'm trying to scare the living hell out of you so you can take the time and the effort to find the right attorney. If you need assistance, we created a very low-cost guidebook on how to find an attorney, which is distilled from the brain of Trevor, having dealt with thousands of attorneys for 30 years, about how you can, with some common sense, simple steps, you know, it's like a good recipe for a good Sunday afternoon gravy marinara sauce. You know, I'm from the New York area, so it's Sunday gravy. And how to go step by step by step to find the right attorney. If you wish to purchase that or book a 1 hour call, go to the description below this video where it says more, ... Click on more. It will open up the whole description. You'll see all the links to all the products and services we have to offer. And that having been said, I'm Trevor, the EIDL expert. Please find the right attorney. Don't do this without good legal advice. I'm begging you.